Hello, welcome to the Saturn Jupiter conjunction. We have three telescopes active right now: Rick Foster, Blake Nancarrow, and myself. I've actually got my scope going. Claudio will be joining us later. He has some work that he has to cover first. And we'll see what we can get. We're actually getting some really nice views right away. So I'm going to go to Rick Foster. You can see Jupiter bottom right, Saturn top left. Rick can actually go larger. Our telescope operators, all of us, are out of our normal area of observing. Rick is across the street at a school. My scope is in a different place now. You can see Rick has now obviously got Jupiter, and you can see the two moons on the top. Anyhow, I know.
Yeah, it's EO. It's in the bottom right.
Right, bottom right.
Rising
Yeah.
off the surface, yeah. And it's actually casting a bit of a shadow still on the edge of the planet. It's hard to pick it up. It's so low in the sky.
Very
You got
nice.
and Europa over on the left, and Ganymede further away, and Callisto is out of the view. But yeah,
Very nice. Rick was able to get on quite early. What time approximately did you get on with Jupiter?
about 4:25 or so.
Really? Wow. And it's
Saturn.
just starting to turn dark now. So, and Blake has got Jupiter going too. So let's have a look at Blake. This is Blake's image. And we can see the two moons to the left. I have to show my image. I can't do much changing around. But mine, you can see that the Jupiter to the top right and Saturn to the bottom left, very lightly to the bottom left. It takes too much right now to enlarge it while still operating the different scopes. And we'll go back to Rick. Rick has got Saturn going here. Very nice image of Saturn. Rick, you've got 11. Could you just describe your equipment there? 11-inch. Rick?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
Do you hear? Can you just describe what equipment you've got?
Sure. I've got a. Looks like I'm having a bit of an internet issue at the moment. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've got a Celestron, CPC 1100, 11-inch Celestron, and I've got a f7 focal reducer on there with a full-frame DSLR camera, Canon 5D Mark III, and I'm just doing a live view and using this EOS utility to present it on the screen, just a live view, and just so I can view it. I can zoom out, see the full sensor, right, and I can adjust the exposure here to show you that it's actually that there is a background sky there. Like it's not dark yet.
No, it's not. Definitely not dark.
And if I lower the exposure even more, you can just see the moons of Jupiter, the Ganymede, and you can see Jupiter here. You can see Europa close to it, Ganymede next to it. Later in the evening, when it gets darker, you'll be able to see Callisto further off to the left here. That'll give you some perspective as to how far away these planets, like how they're apparent closest.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
About 1/3 of a degree, if I'm right. Am I right, Blake?
Yeah, that's right. They're about 20 arc minutes or 1/3 of a degree apart.
I got to go to your view now, Blake. Hang on. This is Blake's. You can see Jupiter again to the bottom right and Saturn to the top left. The perspective as far as the orientation is correct as per live view. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. If you just look in the sky with your eyes, you can see Jupiter clearly to the bottom right. Saturn is fainter, but it's up and left, and it's kind of around the 10 or 11 o'clock position. If you look at it just with your eyes or with binoculars, so you can see my view is sort of simulating that. Saturn's up and left. With your eye, Saturn's going to be a little bit trickier to see, but if you can see Jupiter, just look up and left a little bit. And you can use a trick, hold your hand out at arm's length, stick your pinky finger out, and Jupiter and Saturn, if you cover Jupiter, you'll probably cover Saturn. So Saturn is less than a finger width away from Jupiter. It's a little point of light.
Very nice, very nice.
My setup is similar to Rick's. I have a Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope, an SCT. Mine's an 8-inch diameter telescope, and I'm not using a focal reducer like Rick is. And I have a Canon camera, DSLR camera on my telescope, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm using the included free software, the EOS or EOS software, to get a live view off of the camera.
Obviously, the two planets are getting it closer. How close? I read 1.1 degree. Am I right, Blake? On the 21st?
That's right, a tenth of a degree on the 21st. So that's 6 arc minutes as opposed to what we're seeing today, 20 arc minutes. So they're going to get tighter and tighter over the next couple of days, down to 6 arc minutes or a tenth of a degree.
Very nice.
You should be able to see that with your eyes, though. You should be able to see 2 points of light. They won't merge together on this occasion.
On the 21st, if we could see on a clear night, we should be able to see separation?
That's right. You'll see 2 points of light.
Because I remember that was some discussion about that on the forum.
Way back 800 years ago, they were closer still, 2 arc minutes apart. And on that occasion, to the human eye, they would have merged together, become 1 point of light.
Yeah. I'm just going to respond to Tom, because Tom said he's got a photograph. Could we use it? Tom, we're going to have a sort of a montage of all the photos a little bit later. So keep it. We're going to we'll pick it up and use it later. Okay. Thanks, Tom, for the offer. And anybody else who has photos, we will provide a link later so we can try and gather these, because there's a lot of interesting photographs out there with different setups, different scenery, different whatever. So it's very nice. Oh, and Blake has got, you can definitely see the 3 planets. I'm sorry, the 3 moons now. I can see the one to the right, Enio. Am I pronouncing it right?
So the planet, it obviously is the big round circle or disk in the middle. And then we've got 3 moons visible. All 4 moons, the Galilean moon, are visible on Jupiter tonight, but they're not fitting in my close-up view right now. But what we have from left to right are Ganymede. That looks a tiny bit brighter than the next one. Then we have Europa. That's the one between Ganymede and the planet. And then you can see just starting to peek out the other side on the right-hand side of the planet, we have Io. Some people say Io. I usually say Io. I don't think it really matters. So Ganymede, Europa, and Io are visible here. If I move to the left, I should be able to get Callisto. Let's keep an eye out for it. There it is. You can just
see it, yeah.
Just barely see it. It's a little bit dimmer than Ganymede, I think.
You're talking top left, basically 1/3 down?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's close to the edge there. I kept the other moon nearby just for comparative purposes. So Callisto is on the far left, a little bit up, and Ganymede kind of dead center near the right edge. So that's all 4 moons. Those are the ones that Galileo saw 400 years ago. 1610, he saw those moons in his little telescope.
Very nice.
I'm gonna zoom in on Saturn. I haven't had a close look yet.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Rick and see what Rick's doing. Okay, we got Rick going here, and
Just-
you can definitely see the three moons now. In fact, the four moons, the one at the top right. I'm sorry, top left.
Yeah, Callisto was way out there this
Yeah,
evening.
yeah, very nice.
And I'll flip over to full view. The two together.
Trying to see Titan.
Yeah, it might be a bit early for Titan. Yeah.
No, I can't see anything.
Can't see it yet.
Let me adjust the exposure.
Yeah, let me crank it up here.
I have to see where Titan is, where to look.
Yeah, it should be right of the planet. Maybe it's just too dim right now. Maybe we gotta wait a bit.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
sky is
it's still
blue.
yeah, it's still blue out there.
The rings kind of point to it though.
Oh,
It
it's
should be.
it's
I'm
way
looking at
far
the
away.
marker around
Okay.
for
Lower
where I
right.
think it would be. Maybe not that far away. Maybe it's going to be around here. I
Maybe if the-
might be seeing it. I think there's something going on right there.
Okay, let me go to you, Blake. I'm on Rick's right now.
Oh, I get it. I see it
Where? Can you point it?
right here.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
gonna
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna overexpose it a little more. See it now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Very faint though.
yeah. There we go. You can see it better now. I've kind of overexposed the planet to show it. It's right here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Blake,
Uh,
can you see it, Blake? I'm gonna go over to your screen right now and have a look.
Yeah, I was just starting to see it, just barely starting to see it. But it's going to be right around here. I'm running a pretty high exposure right now, and there's some twinkling happening over here.
We have our third guest coming online. I'm just going to go quickly to. We just lost him. We lost his moon, but Claudio is coming on, so he'll give us some more views.
Wow. So looking further out here, Callisto really is close to Saturn.
Yeah,
Where could you? Okay, I've got your screen now, Rick. Could you point that out
Yeah.
again?
So Callisto is right up here.
Oh
So
wow.
it's like a third of the way to Saturn, or past a third of the way to the Saturn, right?
yeah, that's
So-
right. So that'll be neat in a couple of days when the planets get closer together. You know, the moons of Jupiter nicely line up, but because Saturn's tilted at an angle, it's the axial tilt like the Earth's axial tilt. The moons around Saturn are kind of all over the place. They're
Yeah.
not in a neat, tidy line. So we might get situations where it looks like Titan's heading over to Jupiter, and then Callisto is heading over to Saturn.
What?
That's
Somebody honking?
nope. It's it's quite a nice sight to see it right now. I mean, the contrast between the blue of the sky, the planets so close together.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly switch over to Claudio because we're going to welcome Claudio Oriani. Claudio, how are you? I see we got Jupiter on your scope there. You made it. I don't know if you can hear us, Claudio. We can definitely see your image of Jupiter. Okay, we'll come back to Claudio. I'll come back to you, Rick.
Sure.
Claudio's still setting up, but he's getting on the ball pretty quickly.
Oh, amazing! Sorry, I'm taking some photos now. Doing some still photos.
You can't do that. You gotta, show it.
Wow,
Good job to do.
this is so amazing. There, I did a couple of still shots that are
I'll come over to you. This is Blake's view now.
I'm just trying to get a cleaner view by taking a fast photo. Oh, wow. When I do a 15 here, the sky's still blue. It's really nice.
Rick, hold on to that because you can really see the moons now.
Yeah, I took a photo. That's a photo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of camera shake there, but oh well.
But those moons really stand out.
Yeah, yeah. I can get that in the live view actually.
Yeah.
If we want to overexpose it, we can.
I'm going to go over to Claudio and see if Claudio, can you hear us?
There we go.
Maybe I have to. I think I understand. I may have to do something here.
Oh yeah, I could. Didn't need the Folker reducer today. Wow.
Okay, that was my fault while we didn't hear Claudio. I didn't let him into our little room here. Claudio, I apologize. I didn't let you in. We were just having too much fun here. Claudio, can you hear me? We hear Canada geese. Is that you, Rick?
Yes, I'm nervous.
They come to check out the views too.
I'm not looking up.
Yeah. Okay. This is Claudio. He's actually got a view of Jupiter at the top there. Very nice. I think he's still setting up, though. I don't understand why we don't hear him. And Blake has got his Saturn on the top left and Jupiter on the bottom right. Let us know when we have contact on you. Claudio. Sorry, guys.
This is so much fun.
We've got you on view live, Blake.
Just shooting some photos.
Yeah.
Wow. This is so cool.
See if I could take one and not mess with my feet here.
I'm gonna do a really fast exposure to try and get the planet not blown out. Yeah, so I've got a bit of detail on Jupiter now, and I'll try putting those two pictures together on the computer so I can get the moons to show up. That'll be fun.
Claudio's having trouble connecting with us. Let me just... okay, Claudio, you're on. I don't know why. I don't have your microphone here. I think you're going to have to get your computer audio going. Okay, back.
Hey, Andrew, is Ward or Ennio with us tonight?
No. We have Betty on the chat.
Hi, Betty.
She doesn't have a mic. That's mean of me.
Keyboard.
Yeah. It's just we don't have a mic for her. I'm just still trying to figure out why we don't have Claudio.
So if people are interested, these planets are quite far away in space. I crunched the numbers today. From the Earth, Jupiter is around 880 million kilometers away from the Earth right now. Just double checking this info here. And Saturn is around 1.4 billion kilometers away, so almost double the distance. The planets from each other are around 700 plus million kilometers apart from one another.
We do have a question from YouTube. Blake, has Blake modeled his 40D for astrophotos? Have you? I guess it's the filter. Have you taken the filter out?
Good question. So no, I have not. My Canon 40D is just normal. I didn't remove the infrared filtering from it. I might do that one day because this camera is getting kind of old, and I might make it a dedicated astronomy camera. But for now, it's the regular camera, and I do use it for terrestrial, normal photography, stuff at weddings, interesting flowers or dragonflies or whatever. So I use it for multiple purposes.
I just quickly went to Rick. Rick, I'm sorry, we didn't get that last exposure of yours. You could really see all the moons. You just moved it now.
Hey, yeah, let me get it back.
Yeah.
I just have to zoom out, and then I have to hit the.
Because you had a very nice. Okay, you can see the planets, the 2 planets and the moons, the 4 moons. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, Io will be like lower right of Jupiter. So
yeah. If you go,
Io is the 4th planet, it's right here.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's hard to see on my monitor, but
right there. Right?
yeah, very nice. Yes, and Blake's got it too, and Claudio is just aligning Jupiter. I think he's trying to get Jupiter and Saturn in the same frame. Because he's changed his setup. I think he had an 80 millimeter refractor last night. Now he's gone to his 8-inch Celestron. So I think it's going to be a bit more difficult to get the 2 in. I have a 9.5. This is mine. Mine is still going, but they're not as spectacular as Blake and Rick's. So mine's a 9.5 with an APC universe sensor. So it's large enough to pick up the 2 together. I think Claudio's sensor is a bit smaller, so it'd be difficult for him to get it on his 8-inch.
Yes, hi guys. I think you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
But yeah, there's some technical difficulties. Yeah, so tonight I'm using my Celestron 8, and combined with my camera is the ZWO ASI 224MC. I can only spot 1 planet. So I decided to use the C8 because it's possible to spot the great red spot on Jupiter. And I also want to share some views of Saturn in a few minutes.
Yes, it's very nice. It's hard to get because it's the sensor is just a bit too small to pick out both of them up, right?
Yeah, so for my calculation, by the way, if you're interested, I'm using Sky Safari 6 Pro, and I'm just adding my setup, my camera, and my telescope so that I can see what I can expect to see in my field of view.
Yeah.
So yesterday I used 80 millimeters Apo refractor, while tonight I'm using my C8.
Yeah.
So the field of view is too small. On the 21st, it would be ideally possible to see both the planets in the same field of view, but it is, weather permitting.
I know. And right now it doesn't look good.
Yeah, but never say never.
I like your optimism. And we've got Blake on a close-up of Jupiter right there. And then we have Rick with his view, wide angle view of both Jupiter bottom right and Saturn top left. I'm just going to adjust my exposure on my telescope here.
Could record some video.
I could.
I've just dropped the exposure to try and see a bit of detail on Jupiter. I can see
Let me go to
northern cloud bands. They're kind of a dark brown. The equator and below is kind of a beige. Hard to see other details right now. And you can see that colorization that we were seeing last night, that I have blue fringing on the top and red fringing on the bottom. That's from the Earth atmosphere. We're looking through a lot of air. We're looking through 3 to 4 atmospheres right now, or 3 to 4 air masses.
And does somebody have the angle above the horizon? I'm going to look up.
Yep, I can tell you that right now.
I'm looking, and
So our altitude is about 13 degrees.
That's what mine says.
Almost 14.
Yeah. So that's very low.
Yeah, and the air masses are 4.1. So we're looking through more than 4 atmospheres, as opposed to looking straight up, where you would look through 1.0 atmospheres. We're looking through 4 atmospheres now.
And Blake, on your blog, you sent me a link to a blog where you described how, as it goes down to 9 degrees, it dramatically increases the atmosphere in a sort of an exponential basis. Am I right?
Yeah, I made a graph, and it is kind of exponential. You know, you go down a couple of degrees, and it's not a little bit more air mass; it's a lot more air mass that you go through.
Just so everybody knows that when you're going through air mass, it just looks more mushy.
That's what's making it sort of jitter and jump around here. Astronomers call that the seeing condition. Casually, we say the view is swimming. It looks like we're underwater. But bad seeing makes this object sort of shift and shimmer and jump around a bit, and maybe even distort in their shape. Jupiter is not a perfect circle, so that slight oval shape, that is normal. But if it looks like for a second or two it goes to a perfect circle, that's not right. That's visual distortion from the atmosphere, the bad seeing. But all that said, the seeing is really good. It was good last night, and I think it's a little bit better tonight.
I think it's better too, but I'm not outside. I've only been popping my head out now and then. So by comparison, we're seeing it in a much the more pristine, if we can call it pristine, way. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more stable. It's a bit cleaner than what we often see when the planets are really low to the horizon.
Yeah, very nice. And I'm just going to go to Claudio. Claudio's got Saturn going. He's just changed he just changed the framing to the top left. You've got Saturn, obviously, Claudio. Can you explain what you're doing? I think he may have shut his mic off.
Yeah, sorry, I was removing my gloves, and yeah, now I'm on mic. So I just switched to Saturn. By the way, I'm using atmospheric dispersion corrector that is making the image a little bit better, but again, since the planets are very low to the horizon, you can see, blurring. But again, probably this is one of the best night of the year in terms of seeing.
Yes.
I can remember. Yes, at the color. And soon I'm going to capture a few frames so that I can elaborate a video or two.
Excellent. Yeah, take advantage of it. I just want to point out that there were 2 other telescope observers who would like to have come on, Francois Van Heerden and Dave Robital. They have established observatories, but they just didn't have the line of sight. And our telescope operators had to go out of the way to get the line of sight. Rick and I think Claudio both have to use the data feeds. I hope you have a good data plan, just so we can see it, and I really appreciate that, because we need an internet, obviously, so we can take the feed. Blake has a very long Ethernet cable, I think, to his backyard. Am I right, Blake?
2. I've hooked 2 together.
Oh, just extension?
Yeah.
Okay, there's Blake's view.
But I think I have 100 feet of Ethernet.
But you're not in your normal place, so you had to move it to a different location to get the site between the trees. Am I right?
I do a lot of astronomy in my backyard, and I'm only maybe 4 or 5 meters from the spot I normally set up. The issue is that the planets are so low, and I have a lot of really nice trees in the backyard. I needed to find like a notch or a gap between some trees. So I shifted further south in my yard, and I've got a really deep sort of pocket in the trees, so I get a good view of the planet for a while. Jupiter and Saturn are getting pretty close to the next tree, though, so you're going to see some strange dark shadows show up in my image.
We really have a really good view of the moons there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 perfectly. Oh, well, we did have one.
Back to a live view now.
Okay. So that was a photograph, was it? Because when you take a photograph, I don't use backyard EOS. Maybe you can describe what's happening when you take a photograph. You're just exposing it.
So this right now is a live view that I'm showing, and you can see I'm changing the exposure number here, and I have the ISO control and my white balance settings, but I'm just playing with the exposure. So that's 4/10 of a second. There's half a second. If I make it shorter, there's a 30th of a second. You can see the planets are dim, but you can start to make out the cloud band on Jupiter now. And if I do a really long exposure, up to a second or so, there's a second. The live view in the software adjusts or compensates for this. I think it's called exposure compensation. So I get good sort of feedback right away. And the little round button here, this is my electronic shutter button. So the camera will take a picture now based on those settings. 2 seconds is a bit long.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
But there's a nice photo. You can clearly see the moon. You can see Titan now because of that. Titan's easy up there.
Still very hard to see from here, but maybe some people got better monitors than what I've got.
Yeah. So the long exposure is good. I'll do an even longer one. Let's do something crazy like 10 seconds. And that should make a few more moons around Saturn show up, plus some stars. There'll be some stars in the field. So it's just finished shooting. So
the bottom you see a star.
More moons now around Saturn.
Yeah.
1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 more moons around Saturn. But it's so bright, the planets, that they're starting to look like stars, and they're blowing out the rest of the field now.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah,
you can also see the dust on my sensor now too.
We won't talk about the dust that I have on my sensor earlier. I did clean it a bit, but anyway. I'm going to go up to Claudio. Claudio's working with Saturn here. What are you doing, Claudio? Are you taking any exposures, or are you just lining up?
Hey guys, just took a 1 minute exposure of Saturn. So what I did, I reduced the field of view so that I can increase the frames per second. So the technique of lucky imaging basically is trying to capture a lot of photographs per second so that you can try to reduce the atmospheric turbulence. And by the way, with me now there is my daughter Sophia and my wife Angela. They came to visit me. I will share a picture with you guys after.
Hi. Say hi. I can hear them in the background.
Hi. No, she doesn't say hi. She's shy.
Well, I'm glad they're all enjoying these views like we are. There is one question from the YouTube chat, Dan McRae. Great view, guys. What are the chances we will be able to see anything Monday? Okay, who's going to chime in on that one? Blake, who's doing the weather?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when I was looking at my dog. Hey guys.
I haven't checked the weather lately.
Yeah, I'll check it right now.
Yeah, I was just really focused on today.
I'm working, Sophia.
There is a slight opening in the afternoon, and so it may change.
No, don't touch it.
So Monday's the big day, right? December 21st is when Jupiter and Saturn will be at their closest. So we're really hoping for clear skies there. Again, it'll look great visually to one's eyes. It'll be great in binoculars. It'll look good in the telescope. It'll be really cool to photograph. But this has been kind of incredible, the clear weather these last 2 days.
Sophia, don't touch the scope. Huh?
Yeah, just breaking news here, Blake. I just refreshed my app. Monday looks like it's a washout.
Yeah, I can actually see a haze around the moon right now just with my eyes. So there's some cloud up there. There's some wispy cloud, but this has been a great run the last couple of days.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly go to Rick here because Rick's got something going here with his Jupiter and the moons.
Yep, and I'm just showing a visitor the moons and kind of
We just
zooming in.
sorry, Rick. I just got a YouTube Ralph saying we're going to have snow showers on Monday. So there you go. Right now.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, just showing a visitor here what those two things are in the sky next to the moon, and
I randomly saw in the sky, and I saw him with a big telescope.
so coming over to have a closer look. So I'm going to see if I can get the rings of Saturn for him here.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, live.
You're actually able to see it.
Yeah, yeah. And if you mess with the exposure, if you overexpose the planet, here, let's go back to 5x here.
I guess that's what you're doing by your house when you're
You see
always
me
seeing-
outside often,
yeah,
do
with
you?
the telescopes. Yeah, when I'm walking my dog.
Yeah, yeah. So if I crank up the ISO here,
Wow,
lower the
I'm absolutely perplexed that you can see the ring from here.
yeah, and there's Titan,
We're going to have to use
a little dot.
I can even see it.
So I think I'm starting to go into the trees, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's Titan. Yeah,
I'm going to be.
kind of halfway the planet.
I'll just
Yeah.
quickly go to you, Blake, before we lose you. What it was darkening on the close-ups.
So I'm increasing the exposure to get the moon, but they're getting so low. You can see the image jumping around more.
You flipped the image, so basically, is Saturn going in first, or is it? No, it depends on what
my
the trees.
view. My view is a corrected view.
Oh, that's
so
right. Yeah.
this is the way you see it with your eyes. So Jupiter is going to go into the tree first
Okay.
and start getting distorted and flaring and getting diffraction. And Saturn a short time later will go in.
Yeah. Well, we did get some nice views, and what has it been? 45 minutes almost. So we've been very lucky tonight.
It's my view is deteriorating a lot now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty well maxed out on the live exposure, and I can't see the moons anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll shoot a photo. We'll see what we get here. That's a 4-second shot. Yeah, see the spiking around
Oh yes.
Jupiter now. So
Yeah.
that's from trees and the tree and the branches and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can definitely see it now. I'm just going to quickly go over to Claudio, because Claudio's got Saturn going. I think he's just reframing it a bit.
Yeah, so I'm back and now I'm playing with the exposure and the gain. So what I want to try is to show Saturn will be overexposed, but probably we will be able to see some of its moon.
Oh yeah, to the bottom
You
right.
can see
Two of them.
see 4. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4, and this is for sure Titan. If you give me a few moments, I can give you the names of the other moons.
Blake, I've got a question here. Dogish 1954. Which version of the ES utility is Blake using? Even though I have Canon cameras, but I'm not that familiar with the Canon software. Blake, any?
Yeah, this one's a little bit older. This is not the most recent version. I think I can't remember. I think it's EOS Utility 2.2. I installed from my CD on this computer a short time ago.
CD?
On my
What's that?
yeah, on my desktop computer, I've installed a newer version. I downloaded that from the Canon website, put in my serial number, got the new version. So that's on my desktop computer, but this is a slightly older version, but it still operates the camera just fine.
Blake had to, just so the YouTube audience knows, that Blake had to do a lot of juggling with equipment because he's got a planetary software going on one machine, where he's connected with audio with Zoom, plus he's got his camera telescope software going. So you've got a few things going there, don't you, Blake, at the end of your garden?
Yeah, lots of power cords.
Yeah. I was going to go to Rick and see the moon, but he just moved it. Okay, Rick, he had the moon out there. I don't know why he was. I guess he was checking out the seeing conditions.
Yeah, I was just showing some of the moon here.
Yeah, can you
flip back?
you can't go back, can you? Because I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yep, absolutely. I was
Okay.
trying to get it back on the planet pair for the next rotation. There we go.
There we go. We got it. Okay, but we don't have the moon yet.
I think I was on the planet.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, very clear, very clean.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Wish I knew how to get rid of this box. Yeah, it's a zoom box, so you hit it'll zoom in on that area.
I don't think there's a way to remove it, but I zoom into a different spot in the image and then immediately close the zoom. So then the box isn't in a bad spot.
You've got very great stability on the moon, Rick, I think.
Yeah, the moon's a lot higher
Yeah.
than the planets.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah. Area is quite interesting here. Just more. Yeah. You can see the little squiggly lines here.
I've just done a 30-second exposure, which is kind of crazy, but you can see the dark shadows in it. That's the tree.
Let me go over. Dark shadow. Oh, to the left. Oh, well, it's basically a light shadow. Wait. Explain yourself there, Blake. Because there's a very light section on the left.
Yeah, it's light on the left, and I've got this dark, really dark shadow at the top right.
Oh, got it. Yeah, okay.
That's tree branches and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm getting diffraction spikes all over the place.
So you're really getting into the woods there.
Yeah. So, literally.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's it for me. That's all I can do.
Okay, I think we've done pretty well for 50 minutes, 49 or 58. If there's any last questions that I missed, we have viewers from Calgary and Minneapolis, which is nice. Conrad from Minneapolis and Peter from Calgary. I like your skies, Calgary. I was there.
See a bit of haze around the moon.
Oh, let me go there. Hang on.
Yeah, or from the telescope.
Very nice.
Easy though.
Yeah.
Rick, you guys must be getting cold out there.
Yep. It's cold.
Okay, I will thank everybody. This has been great. I've enjoyed it. I hope everybody on YouTube has enjoyed it. And we'll call it a night. Okay?
All right. Thanks, guys, everyone.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay. And
Thank you.
Bye, Betty.
Betty's been helping out with the chat. And Claudio, just say goodbye. Bye. Okay.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Claudio.
Bye, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us.
Thank you. Okay. Have a good one.